Hello, friends. I'm Andrea Morris, and welcome to another edition of Spill the Wine, our podcast, which is obviously about wine. I'm really excited for this episode today because this is a winery that I really wanted to get on the podcast. And I finally was able to nail down Shiraz Motier for an interview at Malivar Winery, which is an absolutely fun and delightful winery here in the Beamsville area. So thank you, Shiraz, for taking the time today to talk with us.
It's my pleasure. It's just at the right time of the day, you know. if the listeners want to know, it's just before 5 o'clock, so it's the right hour to talk wine.
It's wine o'clock.
It's wine o'clock.
That's right.
Yeah.
So how long have you been involved with Malivar?
Oh my gosh, did you have to ask that question?
No, but I did anyway.
Long time. I'll tell you, Malivar, the winery started back in 1998.
Wow.
And I was down here studying winemaking at Brock University. And that started for me back in 1997. So it's funny how my career and this winery kind of started at around the same time. And what was cool was we were hearing about this really cool winery that's being built on the bench, you know, and there was a lot of like mystery about it. You know, it's gravity and all this other stuff. And so, you know, and they're terracing the vineyard. So, you know, I remember sneaking in here as a student going and checking this place out while it was being built, going, wow, this is totally cool. So as soon as I graduated in the year 2000, I applied here and started right at the very bottom as a cellar hand, you know, just emptying barrels and washing barrels. So yeah, 26 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And you're still here, and it's like the winery is great.
It's a pretty cool place to work, you know. I mean, just looking around, we're sitting at the bottom of the winery in the retail space, and you can look up and straight up, and all you see are tanks going level. And it's, you know, and it's a great place to keep fit. You know, you're always walking up and down these stairs. And so, you know, I've never had a gym membership in my life. And so, you know, working here has been good for the heart and the mind and yeah, the soul too. You know, there's lots of great people here. So, you know, we've become quite a strong family, and that keeps people together.
That's so cool. And you have a great outdoor space too. So you can like sit inside and do a tasting, and you can sit outside on the patio. And
absolutely,
Cheesy Guys here.
Cheesy Guys are here in you know, on weekends throughout the nicer months, but even during the winter months, they come out and, you know, they'll do like some really fun stuff. And yeah, it's a beautiful spot. It's funny, we're tucked into the escarpment. The winery is tucked into the escarpment, and so is the patio. So you really kind of feel this, it's almost like a warm hug that the vineyards are giving you when you're here. It's really fun. And
you got this great big like boulder outside that says Malivar. But I've talked to so many people that have like, I drove right past it. I'm like, how?
Yeah. But it is hard to see, you know. I mean, there's lots of trees there. The driveway is only so wide. It's probably the one regret, you know. You drive by pretty easily. I remember in the early days, it was kind of like, oh, we only want the people who are really gonna look and find us, right? So we were hard to find, but it was a reward to get here. But now we want more people to come. So the sign became bigger. It's become brighter over the years too in the evening when the light turns on. But still, it's only so small of a road frontage, and people, if they're not looking the right way, they drive right by. So,
but you do have the signs.
Make sure you're always looking at on the escarpment side when you drive by.
But you also do have the signs that say you just passed it, come back.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you can warn people like, damn it, I have to turn around and go back. So you started off just like as a cellar hand.
Yeah.
And then evolved your way up to now managing?
Yeah. It was, you know, I grew with the company grew with me. And, you know, I kind of know all the nooks and crannies of this place. So, after 26 years, I suspect I should know, you know, all the aspects of the winery. I don't, to be honest, but every day you'll learn something new. But yeah, it's started at the bottom. Now I'm at the top.
Well, I mean, with a name like Shiraz, it kind of seems inevitable that wine would be in your history, right?
Yeah. You would have thought that, you know. And it's funny. My parents had no interest in wine. they didn't know Shiraz was the name of a grape variety. It just was a nice sounding Persian name that they knew about. My parents aren't Persian, but Persian names are pretty nice sounding. And but my discovery once I got to university and discovered wine and discovered, hey, I'm named after a wine too, or maybe the wine's named after me. But as it turns out, I think Shiraz predates me by a few centuries. Anyway, so that kind of tweaked my interest, obviously, and so funnily enough, my name did kind of predict what I was going to become in the end.
So I, of course, have to ask, do you like Shiraz?
It's in small doses, for sure, No, I mean, if there are some great Shirazes that come out of Australia, of course, and the Syrahs that we even grow around here, and the Rhone, and in California. But it's not something I chase. I sometimes you focus on enjoying and drinking what you're also crafting. So, but it's always nice to explore. It's like being a punk rock musician who kind of gets into jazz every now and then. So
Good analogy. I like that.
Oh, I could always put music and wine together. It's pretty easy.
It's hard not to.
Yeah.
Because music and wine seem to go together so well.
They do.
So tell me a little bit about the history. Well, you've already kind of talked about a little bit the history of Malivoire and how it came to be. What is it evolving into now?
Well, let me just backtrack a little bit and just say Malivoire is named after Martin Malivoire, and he's the guy who founded the place, and just decided to put the family name behind it, and really, I think, was one of the people who just pushed the bar up in Niagara, and there's just been this continual. I don't want to say rebirth, but there's constantly new blood that comes in, new ideas, new energy that kind of creates another level. And we're constantly, just climbing up on top of each other, going up and up and up. And I just feel like this was one of the first places. There are others, of course, that were before, but this one kind of, I think, put with Cave Spring and 30 Bench, the bench on the map, certainly Chardonnay, the gravity process, which I would say 3 or 4 other wineries in Niagara have adopted shortly thereafter, because it is a great way to make to preserve quality in the wine.
So what is the gravity process, just for the listener who doesn't really know?
So the winery is built on the side of a hill. And at the bottom of the hill, this is where our retail is. This is where people come in. But at the top of the hill, that's where our vineyards are. And so our grapes start at the top of the hill. And we will do the initial process, the sorting, and then it goes down a hill into either the fermentation tanks or down to the press. And then from there, the juice goes down again into fermentation or barrel. And then we actually have to drive the wine back up top, and then it comes back down the hill one more time for settling and clarification, that sort of thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So the process, the idea being that you're not always pumping the wine. You can use gravity to move the wine from one process to the next, which is a lot more gentle on the wine. You're not either macerating any solids. There's no shearing of anything that can extract some bitter phenolics or anything like that. And of course, you're also not incorporating any oxygen. Sometimes oxygen is very good for the wine. For example, when you're opening an old bottle and you want it to breathe, and air kind of liberates a lot of the aromatics. But at certain parts of the winemaking process, you don't want any oxygen, because that just sort of pre-ages the wine, and maybe some of the aromatics will volatilize off. So you kind of keep it as gentle as possible, and to me that means you preserve the quality, and there's less you need to do down the road if you have an issue. It tends not to go in a negative way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes total sense.
Yeah. So circling back to your question about where is Malivoire going now, well, I think one example I would say is the labels sort of represent who we are. And so we've sort of evolved our labels. Before they were, the original label at Malivoire back when we started was a very classical sort of expression of old world European kind of inspiration. So it had, kind of the nice script. It had dentils around the edges with little fleur-de-lises in the corner. It was very, very elegant. And then we went to a very modern look because, the aesthetic in this building is very modern and clean. And so it was sort of minimalistic. But in that time, we always had this vision of who we were, which was we're very much farmers and part of the earth and part of the community. And we actually had this beautiful mural that was here for many years. And I don't know whatever happened to it. I think we have one piece left. But we were always inspired by that mural because it kind of demonstrated the entire winery community and the lifestyle of the life of a wine. So from soil to grape to wine to the engagement with the customer and then the consumer enjoying the wine at the end. That's the whole story. And we wanted to bring that back. So bringing this sort of idea of the table and will you sit with us is sort of our new tagline. And it's about just community and collaboration and storytelling and just sharing good times together. And that's what wine's all about, right? So we're trying to embrace that in our labels. It kind of extends to all the different wines, but there's little elements that we're taking from this new mural that we made that actually is sitting right behind us. Of course, the listeners can't see it, but if you ever...
I'll take a picture of it.
Yeah, or if you're looking at our website, you'll see it. And they're little vignettes that just tell the story of who we are, where we are, and who our community is, and what drives us, and hopefully what drives our fans and the people who enjoy our wine.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it pops on the shelf. I think it's just a new, fresh look, a lot of color. I think we're pretty excited about it. It's really welcoming too. And so, part of that is just, again, we went from way back at the very beginning when we had this very elegant European style wine label. And now we have something that's just so approachable, like you're not afraid of it. And that's what we want customers to think. Our wine doesn't have to be, but we would love it to be on people's tables on a Tuesday or Thursday night. It doesn't have to be a Friday night, or it stays in the wine library, right?
Like I can't open this because it's too good.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm afraid to open this. I can only open this if you know about wine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Not to say, the wines are damn good and you'll taste them, and I hope you agree. But I've tasted the other day. I opened up a Gamay that was 20 years in the bottle. Wow. That we made in 2005, and it was still singing beautifully. Or a Merlot that we made back in 2010. A couple of weeks earlier, and it blew my mind. It tasted like it had aged very much. It was something else. So, we're discovering a lot about Ontario wine still, because, even though I'd say we have a pretty good handle on things and a nice history, we still don't know everything. We don't know, just in terms of understanding how ageable our wines are. That's still a thing. And a lot of the vineyards were really only planted in the 1990s and the early 2000s. So they're just getting to that mature age. Like our oldest vineyards now are 30, just turned 30. And so that's a really nice, you feel like, okay, we're there, we're mature. We've accomplished this and we've succeeded.
That's nice. Give it another 10 years, it'll be like, whoa, wait.
Oh, who knows? Yeah. Or we'll be like, oh no, it's not producing enough. We gotta replant, which I hope we don't have to do. But so far, touch wood, we've had some vineyards that, we're really lucky. We're on the bench. There's a wonderful slope. There's great soils. So the devastating cold winters, we have protection. We have a cold air runs off. So we're really lucky to be where we are, and then of course we have the great soils that create the amazing structure of wine. So yeah, it's a bit of a blessing.
What grapes are you best known for?
Well, Gamay for sure. I'd say the winery started off with a real direction to make strong statements with Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, and rosé. And rosé, the foundation of rosé was going to be Gamay. But we saw, and I think we just talked about this before we turned the mics on, 13th Street and their Gamay. And they made one back in 1997 or 8 that kind of turned our heads and said, okay, we planted this Gamay for rosé, but let's try making one for red. And we were like, okay, that's actually pretty good. And so we kind of changed our complete focus and over the course of a few years and just said, okay, Gamay is going to be the red that we really focus on.
Gotcha.
And now we make it in, well, some people say we make too many versions of Gamay, but you know, when you love what you do, you just want to keep making it. So.
Well, and I know that you have a sparkling Gamay now, so yeah, that's pretty awesome.
It is. It is. Yeah. Yeah, we kind of want to explore Gamay in all its forms. So from sparkling to rosé, to you know, single vineyard, to our classic Niagara Gamay, or even using it in blends. We've had a lot of fun with Gamay.
And one of the things that we're not tasting today, but I do want to mention to the listeners, because if you're a Schitt's Creek fan, you've got to have the Moira Rosé.
Yeah.
Because
you know what's funny? We actually call it the Rosé Moira.
The Rosé Moira?
And it's not because of Schitt's Creek, because back in 2013, that was when we made our very first
and
Rosé
I remember
Moira.
seeing that.
Yeah. And it was, you know, again, one of those wines that you know, we were so excied to make it. You know, there was this real sense of, let's really shift the focus on rosé. You know, we've been making Ladybug Rosé in this style, and it's been so great. But this is the rosé we really want to make, and with the best fruit we have. You know, it's the best Pinot Noir from our best vineyard, and what a great wine that is.
It
and
really
so
is, yeah.
An iconic rosé now, and then Schitt's Creek came along right after. And
you're like, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of worked. Yeah. And of course, you know, Catherine O'Hara just passed away, and bless her soul, that was she was a great character.
But the day that she passed away, the first thing I thought of was I should come here and get a bottle.
Oh, there you go.
And drink in her honor.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
But I just opened a bottle of bubbly instead.
There you go.
But yeah, it's just always that, to me, I always think of you guys in that. Whenever I watch Schitt's Creek, I always think of Moira Rosé.
Oh, that's funny.
So even though it's Rosé Moira.
Yeah.
But we're not tasting it today, but listener, just know, if you're a big fan, you can come here and get it.
Absolutely.
Because it's really delicious.
It is. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So speaking of tasting.
So let's taste, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to start sparkling, because that's always the best way.
Yes.
And I'm sure that's the way you normally do it. So we're going to do, so we make a lot of sparkling. We make a sparkling from Céval Blanc called Cabello. And that's a Charmat method, which means it's a secondary fermentation in tank. And then the rest of our sparklings are all traditional method. So that's when we do the tirage and then age the bottles for a number of say a minimum of 1 year to up to 6-7 years on lees, and then do the secondary do the disgorging after that. So yeah, this is our Bizou Blanc de Gamay.
Which, ironically, you would expect Blanc de Gamay to be red. But there's obviously minimal skin contact.
It's minimal skin contact, yeah.
Because it's clear.
Yeah. Hence the Blanc. It's got a hint. It's got a hint of a something. Yeah, but this is our, you know, again, our exploration in Gamay. You know, we wanted to see what it was like as a sparkling. And we had actually made it as a red sparkling originally with Pinot Noir, but just to see what Gamay worked on its own. And this is a creation by our winemaker Elisa Mazzi. And yeah, let's taste it.
Cheers. On the back end, you can taste the Gamay.
Yeah, you can really taste the fruit.
Yeah.
It's a powerful, fruity sparkling, but still, it's not out of whack because it's got such richness. There's a roundness to this wine. The bubbles are just in really nice spot. And so it kind of gives you that just the mouth filling feel, along with the bright fruit that you get from Gamay. You know, classic apple notes from sparkling, but also this sort of blackberry note underneath that is very Gamay-like.
Definitely the blackberry, like a sparkling fruit punch.
Yeah,
but without the sweetness.
Yeah. It's a dry Gamay for
very
sure,
nice.
or sparkling for sure.
Yeah. This would be great on a patio. And
yeah, and it's not too toasty, you know, like
it doesn't have the brioche.
The brioche,
yeasty.
Yeah, exactly. So this is something that you can just enjoy on its own, and because of the fruitiness of it. You're right.
I forgot to also add this for our listeners. If you hear Lucas chime in, that's my producer, Lucas. Lucas Luzar on the headphones over there. And Lucas chimes in and adds his 2 cents. And so if you hear him, that's who it is. Just forgot to mention that at the beginning. So say hi, Lucas.
You'll hear me. Hard to miss.
I did forget to mention that at the beginning, but this is
so this
really, really nice.
It's great. Like I'm actually surprised by the richness of it, because I think it's only 1 year on lees.
That's all?
That's it.
Wow.
That's it. But it's already got so much richness. Now, we do ferment in old barrels, so you get that roundness from just aging in barrel, and it's sitting on its own lees in the barrel before it gets emptied. But that is that's a lot richer than it's funny, you know, we don't taste our wines every day, and this is one that I probably haven't tried in about I don't know, 5 weeks or so. Yeah, a week. So, you know, wine evolves,
right.
Especially a young wine. They actually kind of are fun. So never buy 1 bottle, people. Always buy at least 3, because then you can see that wine, you know, as it is, as you tasted it at the cellar, and maybe that freshness. But, you know, try it a few months later, you might see something different. And it always changes. It changes just with the weather that's outside, or the people you're with, you know. So yeah, it's important to it's like never listening to a song more than once. You don't want to do that.
No, you want to listen to it repeatedly.
Yeah, but I can't read a book more than once.
I have.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's certain books that I've read like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
But there's and my favorite book that I think I've read 4 times now is A Prayer for Owen Meany.
Oh my gosh.
By John Irving.
That's right.
Because I don't know what it is about that book, but it makes me laugh, it makes me cry, and it's like
classic.
Total classic, and that's the only book that I've read that many times.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah. But it's just so well written, and John Irving, if you're listening, you know, that is like a go-to for me.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, but okay, like a great Owen Meany book or story, you got to try these wines more than once. Yeah.
Well, the other thing is too, it's like, because every vintage is different. So if you find a wine like this, it's a 2023, next time it's made, it might not taste the same.
That's right.
So you have
100%.
to actually, if you really like it, do buy more than 1 bottle.
Yeah.
Because the next vintage is not going to taste the same.
Yeah. And it may be better, it might be different, but it won't necessarily be the same, and it might not be to your liking. So
exactly.
Get what you like.
You hit the nail on the head with that.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the lightness of a rosé, and it doesn't have the tannin or the depth of a red. So this is just like spot on for me. Yeah. It's a really unique sparkling wine.
It's a really refreshing wine, and I think that it's like, that's going to fly off the shelves.
Yeah.
Better buy more.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Some of these lots are really small, by the way. Like this is this wine here, I don't think we make more than like 600 or 700 bottles of.
Oh.
So yeah, it's not going to be here for long.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
You've been warned.
Yeah.
What are we moving on to next, Shiraz?
So this is a really new wine. We just released it this weekend. And it's something we always release around this time, and it's our Melon de Bourgogne. So this is 2025 Melon de Bourgogne. And the story, if you don't know this variety, it's the variety of Muscadet, which is an area in France just at the coast at the end of the Loire River, and a place where there's a lot of seafood and oysters specifically. And so this wine has always classically gone perfectly with fresh oysters, raw oysters, or however you want to do it. But it's a funny story with this variety, because like Gamay, and it's funny how we have this affinity for these 2 varieties. Gamay and Melon de Bourgogne, but both of them originated in Burgundy. But at some point in the, I don't know, Thomas Batchelder will know the history of Burgundy much better than I will. But somewhere in the 17th century, the Dukes of Burgundy kicked both Gamay and Melon out of Burgundy. They didn't think they were good enough, and so Gamay kind of just moved a little bit south into a corner of Burgundy called Beaujolais and become this incredible variety. And Melon somehow migrated up to the Loire and became this amazing variety, which is such a classically perfect bistro white. And so what happened here with us is when Martin was planting this vineyard back in, I want to say 1998 or 1999, somewhere around there, he ordered Muscat because the plan was to make this aromatic wine. He planted Pinot Gris as well. That was another big planting. But instead of getting Muscat, it was Muscadet. And so it was like, oh, this isn't what I ordered, but let's try it anyway. I really like Muscadets. They're so fresh and crisp and perfect with oysters. Let's see what happens. And so I still remember to this day the first picking of it back in 2000, and I think it was 3, and just being kind of like totally taken aback by what we were tasting. The variety grows and looks like Chardonnay, but it tastes nothing like it, and it ripens really early too. So we were really excited by the flavors and the aromas that were coming when it was really still had a lot of acidity, which is exactly what you want with a wine to sort of cleanse the palate with an oyster. So this became Martin's oyster wine, and so a really funny mistake that's become an amazing wine.
I've never had this before, so this is going to be really fun.
Yeah, and what's interesting is I've had this debate with Martin over the years because it's like, oh, it's too rich. You're making it too big and too aromatic because Muscadets they just taste like water and acid. It's just so simple. But the variety here, it's not simple, and our soils are incredibly complex. And when you have complex soils, you get complex wines.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's light and refreshing.
It's really fruity. It sings on this sort of like citrusy note. I haven't tasted it, but I have had this, I think, within the last week.
It's floral with just attached, like there's flowers in the room.
Yeah, it's not a strong floral note. It's more like a blossomy note.
It's so refreshing.
And it's not perfumed. It's just sort of, it's more on that fruit frame. And yeah, on the palate, it's just crisp, clean, really energetic. It has this kind of like energy to it. I love this.
It's a little cantaloupe-y.
Yeah. I wonder if the name Melon de Bourgogne was ever kind of because, this tastes like melons.
Yeah, because it does. It has that kind of like cantaloupe, almost honeydew, kind of like a blend of the two, and maybe that's why. But I love it.
Again, I should know my history of this stuff, but I don't.
Honestly, this is the great wine. I could buy a case of that.
There you go.
Yeah.
People do. One. People do.
Yeah. Because it's great.
Yeah, and there's not many others that do it. In fact, I don't think there's any other Melon de Bourgogne that I know of right now growing in Niagara. There is some growing in Prince Edward County, and it turns out to be quite a different wine.
Well, because the soil's different.
Well, the soils are very different, and of course, the ripening is different, and so. There it tends to be, there's a little bit more fruit extraction, like in sort of like the depth of the wine. It's not quite as fresh and lively, but of course they have the acidity too. Like there's no question there. So I think it works really well in both areas. Again, it's not ever gonna take over from Chardonnay or Riesling, but it's fun.
It's a really interesting addition to a wine cellar.
You mentioned for the first wine that there was only a certain amount of bottles. Is that the same for like all of the ones? Like I wonder because it's pretty exclusive, this unique thing, and I'm just wondering if people are listening, like this whole idea of like if you want to get it, there is really a limited supply. Like,
there is. Yeah, this one here, maybe 300 cases tops.
Wow.
Yeah, 350, something like that. Everything here kind of runs the gamut between maybe as small as 100 cases to as many as 3,000 cases. So it's It's sort of the thing is we have a lot of small lots, and again, that's us being maybe a little bit too playful. We have a lot of fun. We want to experiment. We always want to experiment. You always want to learn something new, so that maybe we'll do that next time. Or you have this sort of event, a season, or whatever, where you kind of rethink how you want to do something, and you learn from that. And too often, if you feel like this is too good to just be a discovery for myself and then blend it away into the big lot. It's like, let's bottle this up and just celebrate this little discovery we've made. And so that has resulted in us making, a lot of small batches. And so, yeah, most of our wines really only end up being around 200 to 500 cases. And
so if you like it,
there's never not that much around.
I mean, you recommended buying 3. I mean, maybe even more. You know what I mean? Considering the exclusivity of it.
Exactly. You know what I mean? This one you need 6.
And you don't make this every year.
Well, no, we try to. Yes,
you do?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I've never blended this away into anything else. We have made this every year, except for 1 year in weird story, 2006. It was a wet year, and it was warm at one point, and then it got cool again. Regardless, we had this wine that was off the charts high acidity, and we were just so into it. But it didn't pass the tasting panel at the VQA the first time, or the second time, or the third time, and
you're like.
No, it maybe then. Not now. It doesn't work like that anymore, thankfully. But we were so disappointed, and so a few of us just took a few cases around, and then I remember we gave I think a barrel's worth, or no, maybe a few cases worth of it to the cheese boutique, and Afram used it because of the high acidity to spritz some of the cheeses that he was aging, and just to add. So it ended up having a purpose in the end, but that was the only year we didn't make it. Every other year we've had great success making.
Well, that's a really, really nice wine.
Thank you. All right, so are we going to keep going here?
Yes.
All right. So I'm pouring in your glass. So we're going back a few years now. This is a 2022 Chardonnay from my own vineyard, the Matillard Vineyard, which is also here in Beamsville on the Beamsville Bench. But it's a slightly higher elevation, and so it tends to always be cooler. A lot of the bench, you just kind of like come up the bluff, and you're here at and it's very much of a true bench. At my place, it's getting closer to the Beamsville town itself, and the bench tends to be more of a gradual slope all the way up the escarpment. And so I'm actually at one of these higher sort of plateaus, and at this time of year, especially when it might be raining down here, it'll be snowing at my house. And it's only 1 degree difference, or maybe 1.5 degree difference, but it's just enough to go, oh, I'm in a different climate, And so it's always cooler up there. And so the wines tend to have, again, that acidity and the structure that really goes, and the fruit tends to be a little bit tighter, a little bit more sinewy, and so it's not quite as open and fruit forward as, say, something that comes just only down the hill. It's really a fun exploration.
I think it's also interesting too here in the bench area, with King Street being like kind of like the border, that anything that's like north of that is so different than anything south of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's one of the cooler changes in an appellation that you can find. Like even when you're in Burgundy and you're looking at a Grand Cru from a Premier Cru, and you go, what makes that a Premier Cru and that a Grand Cru? We're like side by side, but at least here you see a very distinct, like this is a different elevation, this is a different soil structure. The color of the soil is different. The subsoil is different. There's so many differences, and the climate's different because of the slope. So it's really cool. It's really cool. Hopefully, people who come and explore, the benchlands and dip into those vineyards or the wineries that are just north of King Street can taste that difference.
And also for the listener, just as an FYI, anything that's north of King Street, and I had a hard time with this because the lake is north here. I grew up in Cleveland where the lake was north. When I lived in Toronto, the lake was south. I came here and I had to reinvent my mind thinking about direction. But anything that's north of the lake was all underwater at one point.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So the soil was completely different.
Yeah.
Whereas anything south of King Street, it's more clay, it's more limestone. It's a completely different structure of land than it is on the other side of just one road.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, I just think that that's so cool.
It is really cool. The road is built on the old beach, and I think the reason they built the road there is because there was so much stone right there already to give the road foundation. So it's a really cool distinction,
I think that's what makes wine fun too. That's like when you understand that kind of stuff. It's like even when you watch movies about Burgundy and Bordeaux and stuff, it's like the soil there is so different, but it's like it gives everything such texture and such meaning, and it's like I love that. Like to me, this Chardonnay smells really peachy to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's got it's like I'm really getting peach on the nose.
Yeah, I get peach, but I get undertones of lime as well.
Yeah,
like it's got that limey,
like a peach margarita.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
damn. But better.
Because it's wine. Mm.
Yeah, beautiful nose, really expressive and rich.
And so soft. Like, that's beautiful. That's a really nice Chardonnay. And really different. Mm-hmm. Not like, people expect Chardonnay to be buttery or whatever because they've got the California ones that are so buttery and so, but you can't taste any barrel in that.
No.
It's just fruit, crisp, like really fruit forward.
Yeah.
Well done, Shiraz.
Yeah, no, this is great.
That's beautiful.
We never use new oak on our Chardonnays, except for, there's one Chardonnay that we do, but most of them we like to use 3-4-year-old barrels just because you don't want the oak to dominate. And, here in Ontario, we do have such amazing fruit. We don't need to support the fruit with oak. We just want it to really be the star and let the barrel just provide some extra structure and allow the wine to open up. And so, try and stay away from new oak as much as possible with this, especially when we're showcasing like a single vineyard and it's all natural ferment, so you're really getting the terroir of the site and let that shine more than anything else. And not even do a lot of batonnage or even a lot of time in oak. It's only 9 months in barrel and then it comes out and it needs time in bottle, obviously, but it's a great wine.
What vintage is that?
This is 2022.
Oh,
yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah, which was a good.
It's almost
vintage.
a little nectarine I find on the back too.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, your palate's it's sharp.
It's just so fruity. I really like this.
Yeah, but we really don't like that style, and we got to lean into what we do great in Niagara, right? And so big, rich, buttery Chardonnays is not what we do. We shouldn't be trying to do that. I think we have this wonderful acidity. We can make a Chardonnay that feels wonderful at 12.5% alcohol. With not a lot of oak in there, and you taste the wine. You taste the wine itself, and it's special. And it's so. I don't mean to sound like we're so blessed, but it's not that hard here on the bench to make a great Chardonnay. Other places in the world, Chardonnay grows like a weed, so it grows everywhere, and everybody does a great job with it. But the balance we get here is second to none. You get sugar, flavor, and acidity, and it all comes together at the same time. And growing on the bench, we get the minerality as well. So it's just, there's only a few places in the world that I think get that balance perfect, and we're one of them.
And I love that so many of the Chardonnays here have that tropical flavor. Like I get a lot of pineapple on some of them.
Yeah, pineapple
just
for
like,
sure, yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
you know, like Kelly Mason's, I always get pineapple on that. It's like, I just think that it's so cool that we have so many different varieties of Chardonnay. So when anyone goes, I hate Chardonnay, I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You haven't found the one that's right
yeah.
for you. And you will.
Yeah.
Just keep trying.
Yeah,
But
for
this is spectacular.
Thank you. Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, there you go. Chardonnay, you know, we leaned in hard on Chardonnay
Yeah.
around here, and we got to keep that momentum going.
I think
because
so
it is-
too, because you know, like Chardonnay is a great grape, and so many winemakers, when I ask them what their favorite wine is to make, they say Chardonnay because there's so many possibilities.
Absolutely. Yeah. That and that, you know, again.
That nectarine on that is just like still sticking with me. It's just so good. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. What I was going to say is, we, as winemakers, we still have to make a wine that we know people are going to really like. You know, we can't just make that one that, you know, it's like, again, going back to music, you know, being that indie star that makes that one song that nobody can hear because no producer wants to release it, right? But it's that, you know, you want to make that song, but somehow you have to find the way to make it so that someone will want to publish it, and it will be listened to, and people will love it.
But you don't want to be a one-hit wonder.
You don't want to be a one-hit wonder.
No, because you want to be like, you know, mega platinum with all your wines. So.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. We've got some legacy and some consistency here. So, all right, this is our Gamay. This was the first wine we released with the new label. This is the one that you can find at your local LCBO and other wonderful places across the province and even outside of the province. So if you're listening in Quebec, you can find it at the SAQ. Potentially, if you're listening in Alberta, you might find it at one of your favorite shops. So anyway, this is the one where we make a decent amount of. It's a blend of both our estate grown fruit and a couple of our long-term growers. One in Niagara-on-the-Lake and one here in Vineland. And this to me is just sort of like this is that approachable red that I think people just need to try. It really is sort of like the definition of what Gamay can be, because it's so fruity, it's so fresh, and it's so perfect with everything. You know, obviously it's not the wine you're gonna have your prime rib with.
No, because Gamay doesn't do well with that.
No. But this is sort of like the everyday wine for the everyday food. So if you're having pizza, you're having pasta, you're having you're having like just a quick stir fry, you're having you're picking up a curry to go. This wine goes with it. Surprisingly, it goes with a hamburger, tacos. Try it. You know, this is really fun. So it's really kind of this. I almost want to call it street wine.
Oh,
because it's like street food.
Street wine, that's good.
There you go.
Yeah, you could have a stand outside in front. Then no one will drive past Malabar.
You know, I just came up with that.
That's
Damn,
good.
that was good. Man.
It
Yeah.
smells so nice.
Busker wine.
Busker wine.
Oh,
That's
I like that. I
good.
like that.
Yeah. Good one, Lucas.
It's just a little more nicer than street. You know what I mean? Like I think of street meat, and even that is not even like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, what? That's what I mean.
Yeah,
That's why
street.
Busker wine.
Busker wine.
Yeah.
Busker wine.
Yeah.
There you go. It's got a little edge to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though? It's like I find that sometimes Gamay gets such a bad rap
Mm-hmm.
because people are like especially people that are like really into heavy red wines
Yeah.
are like,
If all you ever drink is big Italian reds, which are wonderful, but you can't compare. They're apples and oranges, right? Those have big tan and they have big oak. They got such big depth. This is light on its feet. This is like a.
it's like Fred Astaire
There
dancing.
you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Barely touching the floor.
Yeah, just like dancing up a wall and around the room. It's like, yeah.
This is parkour. It is street wine.
Street corn.
Street corn.
Actually, you know what? It's a Banksy wine. There you go.
No, Banksy. Yeah.
Damn, that was good. A
yeah.
Banksy
It's
wine. Yeah.
street and high art and all that mixed together.
It's like all those elevations of like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
you nailed that
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
Lucas. That was
awesome.
good. Yeah, Banksy wine. This is it. Yeah. It's so good.
I was fermenting the idea.
Is that the first time you said that?
Yes.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Smart. Banksy wine.
Banksy wine. You should maybe change the label.
I
on this
should.
one.
Yeah, I just changed the label. Now I'm thinking.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to.
If Banksy's listening to this podcast, then you know that you have to find the label.
I love Banksy.
Me too.
And I went to this event. It was called the Bill 7 Awards, and a beautiful event where money is raised for students in the 2SL LGBTQ community who have like challenges to get to post-secondary for a lot of reasons, and there's an auction, and I bid on this Banksy replica of the Beatles, and I was thrilled I got it, and so I'm going home with this big art, and then I get home and my wife's like, "What the hell is that?" I'm like, "It's a Banksy." And she's like, "That's not going up in the living room."
No.
Some people love it, some people don't.
It's true.
You're like, okay, then it's the bedroom.
Yeah.
Put it in the man cave.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
That's where it is.
I'll
exactly.
put it in my living room for you if you want. Yeah. I mean, I think Banksy's great.
Yeah. We're gonna do a second gamay. Well, actually, this actually is a third gamay, but this is a single
Technically,
vineyard.
yes, you're right.
It's actually, I'm gonna tell you, it's the same vineyard as what is in the Bizou Blanc de Gamay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when I was telling you about how my site is near the high end of the escarpment on the bench, this site is just one step further higher on the Vinemount Ridge, and it's just literally like another 1 minute drive from my property to this one.
So it's the Arctic tundra.
Yeah, absolutely. Another degree.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Same kind of soils, but a slightly different age. So, and when I say age, I mean the soils in Niagara, except like you said with the lakeshore where it was
Right.
underwater when the glaciers were melting, and you had, I think it was called Lake Iroquois at the time.
Yes.
Up here, because you had the escarpments and you had the glaciers kind of stalled, and they made a lot of deposits called moraine. And so we have the bench as one moraine, and then above the escarpment we have another one. And so I'll be honest, I don't know which one's older. They could have been, one could be 20,000 years old, the other one could be 30,000 years old. Again, they're not really old soils, but they're really neat because it's rubble of all the rock from the escarpment. So it's kind of similar, but again, a cooler site. So
This
really
is a much deeper color.
dynamic color, eh?
Much deeper than
Yeah.
the Gamay previously. But really nice nose.
Yeah.
Very fruity. Almost a little pepper on that.
I love when we get a little bit of pepper on the Gamays. It tends to be something we
That
see
means
a lot.
Like cabby kind of.
Yeah, or
Cab
almost
Franc.
Syrah-like, but
Shiraz? No, Syrah. Oh, that's nice. It's really different than the 2024, than the previous Gamay, because this is the Genova Gamay. The regular Gamay is much lighter. It's like, but this one has a little more weight to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
It's got, but it still has the same kind of light fruit, right?
Yes, but it's also like light fruit with a little ballsiness almost. You know what I mean? Like
There was a hand gesture there.
there's a hand gesture.
Use your imagination.
It's tighter.
Yes.
Party Time Gamay is light, and I could drink that like probably every day. But this one I think is more like, it's a more special wine
Yeah.
because it's a little more complex.
Yeah. It is. It is more complex. It's also kind of, again, it's got although it's like got more structure and more richness, it's also kind of just a little bit more on the funky side.
Yeah.
So if you're kind of into like different layers of fruit expression, like you can go from and again, it's sort of this thing where you can get You can get pure fruit, or you can get kind of like a I don't know. I'm trying to think like a compote fruit, or you can kind of get even like an older fruit. Like there's just different layers of that fruit there that kind of add this really cool complexity to this wine.
Like this is like concert hall, and that one is busker.
It's reverberating in the room.
Yes, exactly. It's like
exactly what's happening.
Yeah. It's sustain.
Yeah.
You hear it?
The echoes in here, or at least the resonance in this room is
it's
pretty
fantastic.
Good, eh? Yeah.
Okay, we have one more to go before we have to.
All right.
Okay.
So we're finishing with Pinot Noir. We could have done 3 hours, 4 hours of a tasting here and gone through a lot of wines, but
we could do another episode in the future. So just
I
saying.
I know
we do repeat episodes with people, and you're lots of fun, so we could do that.
I mean, it is worth to note that there is quite a lot, like for people listening to come, there is a lot to check out, and if anything, like if is of interest to them, I think there's a lot more to discover.
So we,
we've only touched the surface here.
I'm looking around, and I'm like.
Yeah.
We haven't delved into. I know we haven't delved into your rosés, the spritzers.
There's and the Cab Franc.
It's definitely worth mentioning for people.
Just to say, we might have to do a second episode with Shiraz. Because we are fun. I'm having a good time with you.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, so am I.
I'm not. No.
Go back to busking. Okay, so now we're on to Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir. So 2023, a slightly cooler vintage. So it's going to be a little bit fresher. This is a blend of 3 different vineyards. So the Moira vineyard, where the Rosé Moira comes from, the winery vineyard, which we like to call our estate vineyard, and my own vineyard as well. So almost in equal portions, we have that fruit combining together. And what's really fun is every vineyard expresses differently. So at the Moira vineyard, you get this velvety texture. You get this really light candied note. It's really kind of a pure and gentle and just so ethereal almost. And then here it's just about the strawberry. It's the fruit. It's just right there with good structure. And then at my farm, it's just all plummy and dark berry and a little bit more tannin and so together. And this is the beautiful art of blending vineyards together. Is this one really comes together beautifully, where you get the structure and the balance and the fruit all coming together beautifully, and it's just
it's a gorgeous,
beautiful
color.
Pinot. You like the color? Oh,
I love
lovely.
the color. I think the color is really pretty.
I don't really worry about color with Pinot. I like it because it has gears.
Yeah, it does.
I start in first gear, and then whoa, second gear just really ramps up, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm hitting third gear right now. I'm just waiting for where it's going to take me next, Yeah. I'm like, it's like when you're driving through the tunnel at night, and then the lights that are there just are going by faster and faster and faster, and you're just like, it's like the Max Play tape commercial.
Yeah.
I'm at the back of my seat going, oh, where's it going to go next?
I feel like it's like that when you're driving and that big snow hits your windshield and you're like, I don't know how I can drive because I'm being hypnotized by the snow. It's like that's what I'm feeling like with that. It's like oh, it's every sip is just another bang, bang, bang. This is fantastic.
Yeah. I'm still enjoying that first taste.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. That's what Pinot is meant to be. It's got that, that mystery behind it that you just. My first sip, there was. It was not much, and then boom, it comes.
It just,
yeah.
Your wines are all absolutely spectacular. I knew what to expect, that it was going to be fantastic. You're such a fun guest, Shiraz.
Oh, thank you.
I'm really glad you took the time.
You're a fun host.
Thank you. I'm glad you took the time to speak with us today because Malivar is a really great destination when you're visiting the bench. And we have so many more wines, as Lucas already said, to discuss in the future. So we will definitely have to do another episode with you.
Sounds good. I think I can make it happen.
Okay, great.
All right.
So listeners, be sure to visit our show notes because we will have pictures of all these beautiful labels and these bottles. And I am going to take a picture of the mural, so that people can see that. We will have a recap on the wines that we've tasted, and you can also visit our website, spillthewine.ca, for more information. Don't forget to like and follow Spill the Wine on social media because that's very important. On Facebook, we are Spill the Wine Podcast. On Instagram, Spill the Wine _podcast. You can also email us at contact@spillthewine.ca. We are here to answer your questions. We are here to also help you plan trips to this area because you got to come out to the bench. You got to come out to the Niagara region. We have some of the best wines in the world, I think.
Agreed.
And also great host. You can meet fun people like Shiraz and have a really great time. So I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of our podcast today. It was well worth the time and effort to get you here.
Thank you.
And keep listening, folks. See you next time.